All right, we got a new project car, a 92 Toyota 4Runner. Let's take a look at it. Apparently this thing only has 50-something thousand miles, according to the odometer. And on the title, back in 2020, the mileage listed was 50,000. Right now it's at 57. Which, based on the interior and stuff, seems like that could be correct. And the seats are in great shape under these seat covers. But looking at the paint and popped the engine the other day trying to get this thing to start, but it seems like it's having a crank no start issue with what I'm guessing is a no spark. I did some diagnostic tests on certain things and still couldn't get it to run. So right now I'm thinking that it's gonna need a new distributor based on my tests I did with the voltmeter, measuring the ohms across the terminals on the distributor. Seemed a little too high, but we'll get into that later. It's just a little bit wet today, so I'm just gonna take a scrub brush and try to get all this moss off of here before it starts eating into this Rhino liner paint job that somebody did. They didn't do the top and they didn't do the hood, so I might try to get this color and finish this off. I think it'll look a lot better, but there's the look at it right now. I'm just gonna clean it off today. I don't really feel like popping the hood and getting everything wet in there, so let's get to cleaning it and we'll see how it looks afterwards. All right, cleaned up pretty good, just getting all that moss off there. I didn't really get the roof, but I got that worst part on the side, just with a scrub brush and some water. And so let's get to the most important part of trying to figure this thing out. It's a 3.0 1992 4Runner, like I said. I'm not getting a spark. I already tried, putting a new battery in from the other project car, the RAV4. I had all this stuff connected here, and I took the coil wire off here, grounded it down there, cranked the engine, didn't see any spark. So the first thing I'm checking is this distributor. It has 3 coils in it, I guess, that will have to work in the first place to send the firing message over to that igniter. So I have my voltmeter here set on 2000, and what you want to do is take the negative probe, put it on this far one, which is the ground, and then take your red probe and touch each one of these, and you should get between 150 and 250 on all of them, and I do, so that checks out. I know the distributor's good. The person I bought the car from, which I got this car for $1,400, not bad, I guess. He already replaced the distributor cap and the rotor inside. I already took it apart. It all looks good. The only thing I might be an issue is this. You can kind of see in there that those tabs are broken off. But when I connect it, I made sure that I'm pushing them all in and they connect good. So I don't think that's an issue, but it might. The next thing I'm going to try to do is disconnect this airflow sensor and see if the car tries to fire with it unplugged. So let me do that. Okay, I got the battery hooked up. Got all the distributor stuff connected again. Got the coil all connected. I have the mass airflow unplugged. So let's see if it tries to even crank just a little bit with that unplugged. Just as a little diagnostic step to see if that has any correlation with a no spark issue. Still nothing. All right, next thing I might try to do is just get that all cleaned up, that rusty spot that, I don't know what that little box thing is right there, but it looks like it's, mounted on the coil and the igniter, so get those all cleaned up and see what happens. I also just want to say that, you know, I did take this off and I tested that I had power coming into this wire here on the black and red, and I had 12 volts, so I know that this wire is good and it's getting 12 volts to the coil. So let's see. All right, well, after doing all the testing on the ignition and stuff, I think I need one of those ignition modules slash igniters, whatever, but I ordered one on AutoZone, should be here in a couple days. In the meantime, I just continued kind of cleaning all the windows off. I even tire shined up the wheels, even painted them, some bronze colors that I had left over. I did not clean up there. I don't know why I half-assed it, but I need to scrub that some more. I took some chrome cleaner and got those rear bumpers looking pretty decent. Cleaned the back window. You know, cleaned this side of that chrome bumper. Just cleaned all the window sills where all the moss grows and stuff like that. I did not scrub this side, so I still need to get rid of the moss on the paint. But I got all these windows nice and clean, so yeah, I hope that when I put that igniter in, the ignition module, which is my diagnosis at this step, that the thing turns on and runs and I can get this thing sold. I'm just gonna do another coat on the wheels with that bronze paint because it started to sprinkle here a little bit, so it's a $20 paint job, but happy with it so far. All right, well, after some diagnosis and checking a few things, I ended up getting the ignition module. The coil checked out fine when I did the ohms test. So I spent $160 at AutoZone on a new one. So I am hoping that this fixes it. I also cleaned up, you know, the contacts where it mounts. So I got my fingers crossed that when I hook everything back up, this thing will fire up and run. If not, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to check all this wiring here and do some more steps, but let me get this hooked up and see if it runs. All right, to no avail. The new ignition module did not do anything. Still cranking it, no spark, not starting. So I'm taking the distributor out. I got one from a guy on Facebook Marketplace for 40 bucks. It's a genuine Toyota one because right now I'm just getting code 12, which is a no RPM signal from these wires here in the distributor. So I already tested the ohm resistance on all of these and the coil is within spec, but I'm just gonna take it out, put the new one in and see if that does anything. I also cleaned up all the grounds everywhere, you know, cleaned the ground down there on the engine block, cleaned the one back there on the intake manifold. I mean, I cleaned the grounds here from the igniter. No luck still. So I am charging the battery because I've been cranking on it a little bit, and I'm gonna spin the motor to top dead center, which you just got to line up down there to the marks, and then I'm going to remove this and put the new one in. All right, the new distributor is in with, or the old distributor, but the new to this car. And I got the new cap and stuff on, so I got the diagnostic port plugged in. Had the battery off for a little bit. Let's see what the codes flash right now. If it's still got that code, I might need to reset it. All right, taking the battery out for long enough, reset the code. So here we go. Can I get a spark now after putting that new distributor in? Let's see. Nothing. This is frustrating. Couldn't quite figure out the no spark issue, so I had to just put it on Facebook and made $100 off it. So as long as I'm not losing money, that's fine with me. I'm just kind of upset that I couldn't use my diagnostic steps and figure it out, but that's part of flipping the cars. If you can't get them fixed, just get it out of your driveway and move on to the next one. So there it goes. Man, I checked all the wiring, checked positive 12 volts at the coil, positive 12 volts at the igniter, put a new igniter in, ran new wires from the distributor to the ECU, still getting that code 12. The only thing I didn't do, which I'm kind of hoping wasn't the problem, is put a new distributor in, because that was code 12, no NE, no G signal, which comes from the distributor. So onto the RAV4 some more. I put those new brake rotors on, but one of them must be dragging or something, because that passenger wheel's still getting hot, so got to figure that out. I think it's the piston and the caliper, but on to the next one.